The Crypto Markets Update is presented by Grayscale, the world's largest digital currency asset manager. Crypto adoption is booming in India, with top Indian exchange WazirX seeing trading volumes jump 17-fold. This despite lack of clarity on the regulatory front, with the Indian government sitting on a crypto regulation bill for the last year that seeks to ban private cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Joining us now to discuss is Siddharth Menon, Chief Operating Officer at WazirX. Welcome, Siddharth. So WazirX registered annual trading volume of over $43 billion, stunning growth, especially in small cities in India. Yet the government has confusing positions on crypto. Can you give us an overview of the state of crypto in India and why it is growing despite regulatory uncertainty?
Yes, definitely. I think in India, a lot of people love crypto, and it's not just traders or investors, but also at a project level. You have a lot more entrepreneurs who are building for crypto. What we are seeing right now is the whole adoption phase. The internet penetration in India is much better, especially in the tier 3 and tier 2. And what we are seeing this growth, this adoption, is mainly from the distribution from tier 2 and tier 3. And it's phenomenal, right? And though there is a lot more confusion around what is the regulatory angle, there has always been this FOMO and FUD happening around this market. But overall, I think there's been a consistent growth. If you see even our volumes, it just goes up and down. It's primarily around these uncertainties. But if we have more clarity from regulations, I think things would be much more greener and clearer for everybody else.
Is there a strong concern that the government could ban private cryptocurrencies?
It's very difficult to say. There's no official word out, but I doubt that something like this would come, primarily based on what everybody is talking about, right? The top officials have been talking about saying India is known for its fintech industry. So they do want to sort of try this out and have like a sandbox or something around it where there's a calibrated approach in terms of how they want to see this market grow. So I don't think so. There'll be a blanket ban or something very harsh, but there is definitely going to be some calibration with regulations just to make sure things are on the right track, and we are discouraging the bad actors in this play. So I think from that point of view, there should be good regulations coming in, and which should be healthy for the industry. Like we all exchanges have been coming together and trying to say that we need regulations to make sure there's more clear path for everybody else.
Siddharth, just because it's kind of confusing from the outside to understand what's actually going on in India, do you think you could just explain very simply what is this regulatory issue that people are discussing? Because we just see these headlines where it's like, India's banning crypto. No, it's not. It might ban crypto. Oh, they changed their mind. So what exactly is going on? My understanding is that there is a bill that suggests the potential banning of private cryptocurrencies, but that may or may not be passed. Could you just break down at like a kindergarten level what actually is happening at the regulatory level?
Sure. I think everything started in 2018, where just like Federal Bank, you have RBI in India, which sort of had a banking ban, which basically stopped all the banks from dealing with any entities that is dealing in cryptocurrency. So that was the first news, and that came into place. So basically, exchanges like WazirX and any other exchange cannot have a bank account to operate for the escrow of fiat. That was first, and over time we were able to sort of win that in Supreme Court, and that banking ban is out. So that doesn't make it illegal. It's just RBI talking about a ban. But in between this process, like in 2019, there was a bill in making where they're trying to figure this out. Should we completely ban this? Because of the name cryptocurrency, there was already a tense moment in terms of understanding whether it will take out the fiat currency, the native fiat currency that is INR, out of picture. So there was, because of lack of understanding, there were a couple of bills that was coming in. It was obviously never enforced. During that time, the proposal was more about jailing people to hold Bitcoin. Obviously, it was not sort of accepted in any of the forum. And then in just recently 2021 is when the government has started working on a newer bill. And what is happening is now and then, there is an overlap of the old bill that was sort of structured. So, sometimes media takes some information out and, throws it in front. And there's also a new bill that has been in progress, right? So we don't know everything about it. But definitely we know that the overall intent of the new bill is towards better regulation. And that is through all the top officials being talking about it, how they are treating us, how they're having a conversation and trying to see how we can sort of support this infrastructure here. But again, now time and again you have the old bill also somewhere overlapping into the whole media sector. And also what happened was
yeah. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I think the last piece was, just there was a clerical error recently where they actually used the old description of the old bill in the new parliament session that is happening. And, that obviously raised a lot of eyeballs and people just panicked right there.
So so you're confirming what our impression that it is actually in fact confusing to understand what's going on. But thank you for that. Was a very clear explanation of a very confusing situation. But just quickly, when India talks about potentially banning private cryptocurrencies, what is the government worried about? What are they afraid of? Is it just crime? Is it that they're afraid that people are going to lose their savings on meme coins? What just like in your view is the main reason that the government would even consider banning cryptocurrency?
Absolutely. The private cryptocurrency part, the term was actually introduced in the previous bill, right? Which I told you it was all about banning. And where their notion was primarily around if this private cryptocurrency sort of competes with INR, and they don't want anything competing with INR. So INR has to be the legal tender in India. And that was the confusion there, right? So this was in 2019. But now sort of they have also understood crypto cannot be treated just as currency. It can also be treated as asset. And the perspective has changed. So like I said, sometimes media takes the old term from the old bill and try to put this together and say, hey, India is banning private cryptocurrency.
So Siddharth, we looked at the trading volumes on WazirX skyrocketing or rebounding rather over the past couple of months. What are people trading on exactly? Are they trading? Is it mostly Bitcoin, or are there meme coins involved, alt currencies, things like that? And what kind of risk protection are you offering customers that are maybe investing maybe too much in some of these meme coins? Is that maybe something that you guys can do to maybe allay the fears of regulators?
Yes. So I think in the last couple of months, we've been seeing a lot more action in meme coins across the world, and obviously even in India. We see a lot more volume coming into the India space. If you even break down the demographics, we are seeing that it's more of the male population who is actually trading in meme coins versus female population who's more comfortable with Bitcoin. And pretty surprising, or maybe it's not surprising. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to create more educational awareness across all these platforms, trying to tell people about what is what and how to identify the right things. And I think it's an ongoing thing. But you can see we have Shiba Inu, then you have Dogecoin, some of the top traded token in last 3 to 4 months, and it's just shot up like anything.
As a percentage of total trades, what would you say is Bitcoin and Ethereum versus the rest?
It does comes into I think the 4th or 5th position. I need to check on the percentage side of things, but I think probably around 7 to 8 is something I remember. Like I'll have to check that out.
Well, I see that BTC, Tether, and Meme tokens are some of the top traded coins on WazirX. I wonder with SHIB in particular, why has SHIB taken off in India as it has?
It's a big question for me too, but Shiba Inu has been sort of popular mostly in the tier 3 and tier 2 cities. And this is what we've been seeing, and it's now being very popular in India. And it's a very tough question to even answer, like to understand how the markets works and how the distribution works. But there's definitely a lot more interest in these tokens, and there are a lot more projects actually working on these tokens, trying to build certain products on top of it. And these are things that is just coming on, and I'm just learning from it. But it's quite surprising that it's quite active here.
Was the donation from Vitalik Buterin of the SHIB coin? Did that spur some sort of development and interest in it in India?
I think I'm not sure, but I think so. That was donated to the Crypto Relief Fund. At least I know the sale of those tokens were used to actually help the crypto, so the relief for the relief fund in India. So definitely it had an impact with respect to how crypto has played for India. But I'm not sure how this Shibu Inu has actually sort of penetrated the India market more just by that news.
All right.